very, very hard. I remember Leffen doing it many years ago.
It seems really tough for Frenzy. It looks pretty grim, especially with all the turnip and the nair on the vegetable, unfortunately.
Oh, not the dash again. And that's going to be a good tech chase. Good tech chase, ready for it. Blade Chin up smash to close out the tournament. Yeah, Leffen is the champion.
He is.
Even not an upset, but I mean, he is the winner of upset.
I mean, is Leffen on the frame one? He lost the last major.
I mean, true.
Somehow.
Almost like if they're all perfectly evenly skilled, I think this is an even game.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
a back air and an up smash from one of the foxes as well.
I think he just kind of needs to run in an up smash at this point. What's he got to lose? Just go for it. Oh, not the best DI. Dead.
That's it.
Damn. Well,
Disgusting.
what can you say? 6-0. 6-0. My pipsqueak and Nikki. They.
You know, there's a timeline where we'd be like, well, of course they did that. That's not surprising.
Yeah.
But after the mess they just pulled, their route to get here is so surprising.
Gets a pickup, but there gets it back and then drops it again. And there's oh my god!
Oh my god!
Disgusting.
Trying to think like a Frenchman, getting into the head of my opponent, how it would feel to lose to the Netherlands, just like that. I've been thinking about it a lot the past 2 weeks already.
Est-ce qu'on peut terminer le nerf? On n'a toujours pas tué ce Captain Falcon, c'est insupportable. La France s'impose face aux
I've got a little bit of a feeling that this may not be the real fate.
What are you talking about, you ball bag?
Goes high and Davey with another force magic with the flag. All the crew is here on stage because finally Davey made that upset.
Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this week's Konversations. This week's panel has Jim Morrison. Say hello, Jim.
Hello, Ed.
Okay, we also have Rix with us today. Hello, Rix.
Dobry wieczór.
R23 is joining us again. Say hello, R23. Wait a minute. Say hello to the stream, R23. And we have a new guest, a new panelist this week. We have the head TO of the Valhalla series. I believe he's actually PR'd second in Denmark.
Yep.
King Fox, say hello.
Greetings.
Ooh. Okay. Stream, welcome to this week's Konversations. This is week 4 of our 4-week schedule. And on this show, we are previewing this weekend's third major of the same circuit, Phoenix Blue Online. Woo! Come on, woo!
Yeah.
We're going to be having a look at our 6 crew matches, which are going to be streamed this Saturday at 6 p.m. CET, 5 p.m. GMT on BTS Smash 1 and BTS Smash 2. We're going to preview every single match, make a little bit of a prediction as we go, and then we'll do a wee preview of both singles and doubles as well. I think it's time that we jump straight in. I think we're going to look at our first crew match, which is Wales against Greece. That's Wales against Greece, which will be 5 p.m. GMT, 6 p.m. CET on BTS Smash 2 this Saturday. Jim, start me off.
So what do we have? We have Wales against Greece. All right. So I think this is really interesting. So I'm also happy to see them play. I wish they would have played later to give Greece some time to get better. But these are 2 of the bottom seed teams playing off. This is not going to be consequential in who moves on to the bracket, but I feel like a lot of country pride can be won here, specifically for Greece.
I would like to point out with this that every team, every crew was given a tier for seeding purposes at the beginning, and that we had 2 countries seeded tier 5, which was Greece and Portugal. And basically, where the teams finish in their pool order will determine the seeding of the following same circuit in 2022. So I think this is potentially a playoff match for Tier 4, Tier 5 for 2022. So when you say it's not consequential, Jim...
Yeah, but then you know what's going to happen? Seshi is going to show up and you're going to be like, fuck, we got to do it a third tier again. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe. All right, let's throw it out there then. R23, you know a lot of the Wales team.
If Deer is good at the Peach Ditto, that's a hard matchup to get like a really big lead in. So I think with the right picks, I can see Greece taking this, but it's going to be extremely close either way.
I'm going this is going to be within 4 stocks.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I think this is going to go down to the wire. Just that you know that I offered the Greek coaching out there. So the Greek crew are currently in Kones Academy and have been in there for the last month. They have been getting coaching by, I think I had 30 plus, which is pretty damn cool. 30 plus people got back to me saying that they would help do coaching. I believe King Funk himself did a coaching session.
Yep. I had a...
Go on, dude.
I had a coaching session with Nomi, who's second on the list here on Greece. I definitely saw some potential in him when I saw his sets. It was very interesting. And I was supposed to do a 1 hour lesson with him, and it turned into a 2 hour lesson because I'm not super used to giving lessons like this. And but it was a fun time. And what I liked about him is that he really asked the right questions most of the time. He really knew how to, get to the next topic in an efficient manner. So,
yeah, and they've had quite a few of them now. And I know that Lavos has had quite a few sessions. Nomi has, Pakos, Lamampis, Freezy as well. I actually know that Lavos is like the best in Greece, and that Freezy took a set off him for the first time after Freezy had some coaching sessions. I've seen Nomi entering more events. He's got top 7 in the recent Portuguese weekly, top 7, I believe, in the recent Italian weekly. So it's definitely helped kind of increase their participation and maybe motivation. So I'm actually like really looking forward to this. Rix, are you looking forward to it as much as me?
I would definitely look forward for it. I kind of have a question. What would you guys say? How good is Lavos compared to all the people from Wales? Like, could you compare him to? Like, I'm kind of curious about that because I haven't seen too much from Greece, to be honest. So I'm definitely looking forward for that one.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest, but I know in some of the other crew battles he's given a good showing, so I think he can definitely go toe to toe with like the top Wales players.
Okay.
Like as long as the Greece top players do all right, I think it will go down to sort of like 4 stocks, like you said.
Yeah, I think as for me, I feel like it might not be as close as 4 stocks. I think Wales has a bit more of an upper hand there because I feel like there's just 5 people on the Welsh team who will be able to beat Lavos. There's UO, Libbers, I feel like Matt Smith could do it, and Galapagos. Just off the top of my head, those are players I see beating Lavos. And the rest of them, they could sort of clean up. But the thing is, what if they sort of crumble? It's the scary part.
Yeah.
They could crumble, but the same goes for Greece.
I think Wales also has an experience advantage because we haven't seen Greece much at European events in general. So that means they haven't been to that many crew battles in general. Whereas Wales, we see them every UK event, and they do travel quite a bit, I think. So I think they have a big experience advantage for sure.
I think it's quite a unique one as well, though, because Greece, I still feel like have no pressure on them for this. They'll be seeing this as like, we can maybe get on the board here, get a win. Whereas for Wales, I think it might be like a shit. We really can't lose this one.
Yeah,
I think like that. Like you're saying, like they might crumble. I think there's a lot of pressure on Wales for this one. Whereas for most of their matches, they don't really have a lot of pressure because they're the underdogs. This is the one, possibly the only game in the group where they're the not a massive favourite, but a favourite, like a 60-40. Is that probably what you'd give it, Jim? Like a 6-4?
Yeah, no, I'd lean more towards 7-3. I still believe that the Welsh boys would be able to pull it together.
Okay, so how comparable is someone like, let's say, Matt Smith to someone like Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves has entered a lot of weeklies, so I don't know, we might have a bit of an insight on that.
Did Lavos beat Keanu Reeves? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, so in our Kones Academy league, Lavos, there's basically 8 divisions. Lavos is in the 5th division, and he finished 4th in his division, and he beat Keanu Reeves, a few others, close against Skips. Like he's not been like blown out of the water. So like if we're like, how much better is Matt Smith than someone like Keanu Reeves is what I'm trying to say.
Not that much better, I would say.
I don't think
I don't think so.
Keanu Reeves
no, so what I'm trying to get at is I think we may be underestimating Lavos' level here. And Nomi and Freezy aren't massively far off Lavos. So my point here being, I think this is more competitive than 7-3 or 6-4. I think this is going to be I think without Bo, and if EUO or UO, I don't ever know how you pronounce it, if he doesn't have a big game, I think this is very, very close. I think, how do you pronounce it? Is it EUO or UO?
I normally say UO, but that could be
okay.
wrong.
Let's say UO. Let's say UO needs to have a big game here. But Lavos, Marth, comes in against UO, Peach. Like it is one of those matchups that if the Peach doesn't get into the right rhythm or kind of get their neutral sorted quickly, that can be an awkward matchup. So I don't know. I'm very, very even on this one.
Okay.
Do you want some predictions from us?
Let's do predictions. All right, then. Start me off. Julius, let me know who do you think's going to win.
As I said earlier, I think Wales has a big experience advantage, so I'm definitely going with Wales here.
We've got a Wales. All right, anyone else going to stick their hands up and agree with King Funk? Any other hands for Wales? Ooh.
Funny how the UK boys just stick the knife in their back.
Are you shanking them?
I feel like we're playing a dangerous game where we see these guys. We're going to be seeing these guys at tournaments.
No.
Told you.
I believe in my Greek lads. They're going to be all right. I think they're going to do this.
Yeah, but you also have like skin in the game because you gave them coaching, etc. So for you, it's really do or die. If they lose this, then everyone knows Kones Academy is absolutely.
Hey, no! That's not how it works, right? But
all right,
yeah, Greek team, you've got to win, or else you're out the academy. Yeah,
you're out.
Yeah,
all right, I put him down.
All right, then it's down. We've got 3 for Wales, 2 for Greece. Let's move on to our next matchup, which will follow the Greece and Wales matchup at 7 p.m. CET, 6 p.m. GMT on BTS Smash 2. It is the debut of the Danish side. Okay, making their first match in the same circuit, playing against another Scandinavian opponent. There's a lot of Scandinavian teams actually in Pool B.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them, basically, all of them. Against Norway. So Denmark, Norway, at least Julius, we've got no internet issues there. So Denmark versus Norway. Throw it straight out there. How do we think this is going to go, panelists?
Pretty Norway favoured. Sorry, Julius. Obviously, Mo and King Funk, they both placed really well at the upset last month. But then past that, Tomba and Eagle, I know they're really good, but they have been active for a very long time in terms of tournaments. And not just like, when Fuzziness doesn't show up for a year. This is like a long time these guys haven't turned up to events. So I think if they've I don't know. Obviously, Julius, you can maybe give some insight. Like, have they been playing much at all?
Nope.
No.
So,
Just straight up no.
So Mo is Mo. Obviously, he's a beast and he can turn it on and cruise. And Mo and I, we have a bit of a history at Valhalla of having really clutch performances in cruise and getting really, really far. And I think that's kind of what this team rides on the most, is just that we have a bit of a clutch factor that we bring every time. Now, the other players, Tomber and Eagle, obviously quite inactive. But Eagle is the type of guy, he plays maybe once a year or twice a year, and he'll always bring his A game. Like, it's actually insane. Like at Valhalla 3, he actually managed to take Kumpe to game 5, last hit for 25th place at Valhalla 3. And that's just like 25th is the placing he would get at every other major in years before, even though he never plays. So the guy barely. I'm not even sure if Eagle shield drops at all. But the guy just has
a man after my own heart.
What? Yeah,
a man after my own heart.
The guy just has
the Danish crew is I don't really know who the 5th best player would be for this. I know
tricky.
I know that Stelzig is
Chansey.
I know Flippy is. I know Flippy's okay.
Yeah. So
I think the Pikachu is also like a nice weird character to round out your already weird roster.
Yeah,
especially with all these foxes in the mix and the Marth.
So both teams are super weird.
Yeah,
true.
Dude, they're gonna have young Lynx. They're gonna have Puffs.
No.
They're gonna have both of them ice climbers. Just a question, Julius. How's Tomber been since the wobble ban?
Does he know it's bad?
Does he even know?
He does. He does. He does still play some ice climbers, but he's been playing a lot of Puff. So there's a chance that he might pull out the Puff and Cruise. If he enters Cruise, we're not sure if he's going to be available on Saturday.
Yep.
You need him. You need him.
I would love to have him, but as for needing him, I'm not entirely sure because he is quite good. But a big part of our team is some of the upper incomers we have, which are the last 4 here.
Yep.
Voodoo is a Sheik player he's had a bit of a mental block for a few years, but I feel like this year he's really been stepping it up. And in 2 of our online locals in the last month or so, he's actually gotten 2nd place both times. I mean, I wasn't playing, but he got to grand finals against Mo, and he did really well against Mo. And I feel like he's going to be there on Saturday. He's probably going to be our 5th guy for sure. We're probably going to use Chansey because he plays Peach, and we would love to have Peach for Nintendork.
Yeah, good call.
If we can send him in against Nintendork and do a lot of damage, that would be really good.
I think Nintendork's pretty good at that matchup, though. So
yeah.
I know he's gone 3-2 with Sharp recently.
Like, I don't expect it to be like a free counter pick we can just throw at Nintendork, of course, because Nintendork is, after all, a better player. But then we have Flippy, who's also an up and comer. He used to be a Peach main, but he switched to Pikachu, and I think that was really good for him because I feel like he was kind of capping his potential by playing Peach because he was too much of a down smasher. Like, he was the type of player who wasn't really progressing. But then when he picked Pikachu, things turned around for him because he was forced to play the game in a smarter way. And then Vinictus and Mass VH, they're pretty good up and coming spaces, but I'm not too sure they will get to play this time.
Norway might be a bit stretched too far for them. Like, so the Norway crew, I think they're sort of top 4. They really have a lot of options here, I think, is the issue for Denmark as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I'm not sure how... I think there's players on here that Mo will struggle with, basically.
That Mo will struggle with?
Mo?
I don't think Mo struggles against anyone in Norway. Like I think Mo can beat anyone.
I'm kind of interested in what Nicholas versus Mo would look.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how's the Donkey Kong Young Link matchup? How's the experience?
Like
as far as I know, when they play,
I'm curious on who do you send in against Mo? Like who did Norway actually want? Like, what is their favorable matchup versus Mo?
I think they would send Nintendo actually. I think Nintendo would be their best option for sure, because I think Ice Climbers is pretty strong against Mo. Though Mo does have a lot of tech against Ice Climbers and really plays the matchup well.
Where Mo's level against Ice Climbers is probably too good for Nintendo's level of DK play, right? Like I think.
But I mean, Nintendo has beaten Mo in the past, so I think Nintendo can do it. But I mean, it was a while ago. So.
I was also thinking,
who would you use here?
I was also thinking of Ninjago fan in regards of like the Mo counter pick, just because he has a DK secondary, so I can kind of see that he could kind of know how to play against DK just in general.
Yeah,
and again regarding Eagle, he's someone who I always encounter in unranked. I don't know why, but this guy, I just play like a lot of time with him. Like in the last 5 years, I think I've encountered him so many times, and this guy is always really, really good. So I can only
Eagle?
agree with you there.
Eagle.
Yeah, pretty sure it's Eagle.
He plays on ranked?
I'm pretty sure about that.
I had no
he was
idea.
playing on Antver's Ladder before, 100%. And I think I've met him at least once in unranked so far.
I had no idea he played.
So I want you to think about sort of like what is the first pick? Like what's the mental game gonna be probably when you think about who you're gonna send in first, like Norway, Denmark? What do you want to see in the counter pick advantage?
I mean, I can't give away our strats, you know. But,
no, I know you won't, but we're gonna.
My assumption, if I were Denmark, I would probably put Eagle first because he's like a very solid player, and I don't think there's any player on the Norway crew except for Sverre who would like blow him up.
Is there anyone that you want to keep Eagle for though, like as a doc?
I don't think there's any particularly. I guess one of the new school foxes might be an okay thing if you can get FD. Obviously, would just get banned, but
yeah.
I also think Doc doesn't do too bad against either Puff or Young Link. Like those matchups are not bad, so I think you might want to save those because your spread against Puff is also not too strong as Denmark, and I think Doc would be one of the better counter picks for that as well if they put in Finale.
I really want to talk about this, but I'm not sure if I'd be giving. I'm not sure if I'd be giving away too much. But I
just nod, just go yes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd be pretty. I'm pretty confident against Puff. So if they dare send in Puff, I probably.
Oh, is this like 9 games? Like he's like, I don't want to play them, but if I say this on stream, they won't do it.
It's mind games. Yeah.
What is interesting though, because I was just looking at the Norwegian team, like I generally forget now and again who's on it because we've only seen 2 of their players in both their matches so far.
Like, what do they have? They've sent in Sverre, Sile, and Nicholas.
Yeah,
we've seen
and Bose as well. That's it.
Oh yeah, and Bose. Yeah. So
Bose and Nicholas.
Shit.
So we haven't actually seen the full crew. We haven't seen who would be the likelihood players who are turning up. Like we've only seen 4 of them. so Denmark, you've got to make this more competitive.
Thinking about what happened in the past, right? Norway, we at Conversation we have a huge anti-Norway bias, like in general. But I feel like we're robbing Norway a bit. They've just demolished their last 2 matches. Both of them easily 10 stokes. All of those players who played showed that they will not crumble. They will destroy their opponent, and they're going to do the same with Denmark. Maybe it looks scary. Think about it. They look scary in the last 2
They
matches.
are. I mean, my personal opinion of this.
Jim, do not make Julius cry and let him talk.
I'm not gonna cry.
Go on, Julius.
Last time Denmark played Norway, we beat them. Phoenix Blue.
What?
Oh,
well, it was not exactly Norway. I'm exaggerating. It was Bergen. Okay, it was a team with Present and who else? It was Josie Jam and a few others, but we played really well and we actually upset them. So, but I think so. I think for this match, I think Norway has obviously superior depth in their crew. Like they have more options, they have more people they can use for different matchups. I think Denmark, what we have is we have the heart and we have the clutch factor. Like
for sure. I think the X factor is going to be huge.
Like
I think
I know 5v5 is different from 3v3, obviously, but obviously the smaller the crew size, the better it is for us. But I do think we do have a chance for sure. If Mo is on, if I'm on, if Eagle is on, I feel, and if Chansey is a solid counter pick, for example, then I think we have a pretty good chance.
I would say that this is definitely the most competitive game Norway's had so far. So it's going to be actually test them. And I think this is going to be close. This is going on second on BTS Smash 2. The other match on BTS Smash 1, for those watching, is Switzerland versus Netherlands. So I think those two are very competitive matches. So there's a choice to be had. I personally think this is a 60-40. But there is potential for an upset. Let's do some voting. Who thinks that Norway are likely to win this encounter? And who thinks Denmark is likely to win this encounter? Okay, surprise there, Julius. At least
I'm not betting against Denmark. Come on.
Yeah, of course not. But as I say, I think it's 60-40. I think there's the upset potential there, and I think this is actually going to be a cracking crew match to watch. Let's move on to our third crew match on BTS Smash 2 this Saturday. This is at 8 p.m. CET, I believe. Yes. 7 p.m. GMT. It is Portugal against England. England had a break at the last event, the upset. This is their second crew match. Portugal going into their third crew match in a row. They did particularly well in their first one against Austria. Came a little bit unstuck at the upset, losing largely just to Nicholas, is a young link from Norway. And now we've got Portugal again being quite large underdogs here against the English crew, who had a quite comfortable victory over the Finland team in round 1 at Valhalla. So, panelists, Rix, I'm going to jump at you first here. England, Portugal.
This looks way too rough, to be honest. I just can't see England losing this at all. Like I think it's gonna be like a 10 stock left for England, probably. Like especially when they send in Prof, Frenzy, and Issa, there's like no way that they're gonna lose more than 2 people. I just can't see it at all. Isn't Portugal also like tier 5? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's tier 1 with tier 5, so yeah.
And so England already 5-stocked Finland, which was already a huge win. They had a month off. Portugal, what they did, they had to play Austria. That was actually a nail-biter. They were pretty close to winning it. 2 stocks only for Austria. Not too bad. Austria sort of coming in with a secondary team. Last time, Norway had to play against Portugal, and that was not pretty. There was a Flare Bomber Nicholas who went absolutely ham, taking 13 stocks, demolishing the Portuguese team. Are we going to see a repeat of that from England?
I don't think from Prof, just because Fox Marth, but I think if Isdal plays and just goes off, I think he could just sort of tear through a lot of these players. Same with Frenzy and maybe even Max right now. Like Max has been doing really well on the weeklies. I think this is no bias even. Like I think this is for Portugal.
I'm not even sure Marth has a guarantee that Prof won't take a lot of stocks, because I feel like
he absolutely still could. Just
it's not even a matter of matchup; it's just a matter of level of play. Like if you're not on the same level of speed as Prof, you're gonna get rolled over like completely. Like,
and I would hope the English team, and Alex, you need to make sure Frenzy and Aaron are fully aware of the rules of the cruise circuit.
Stocks is important.
Stocks are important because stocks are the tiebreakers between if you're on level on wins, okay? And this is such a tight pool. We've got Norway, Finland, England, Sweden, Ireland, Austria, and then even like, Denmark, and then the bottom two, Portugal, Italy here. Tightest pool compared to Pool A. So I think there will be tiebreakers here, and England do need the stock advantage. So I could easily see potentially those two saying, "Oh, let's just put in like the less likely
is that Prof.
Yeah, you need Isdar, you need Prof here, you need Frenzy. This is like if Norway won 14-0, England should be aiming to win 14 or more. Yeah, to rack those sorry Portugal, to rack up those stocks.
Get the goal difference.
Yeah, it is about goal difference, and it's we saw Finland do this last time against Italy. They went in strong straight away. And I think it is just going to be a tactic we see, which I think is actually, if I'm Portugal, I want to play the best players. I don't want to play like, England B. I want to, compete against the best, really. And I think it's more respectful, actually, for crews to send in their better players.
So I'm not going to pretend like there's a shot for Portugal, but I think they can make it harder than they made it for Finland. I think they can do better. Like the Young Link, I don't know what happened there.
It's an unusual matchup, isn't it?
It is.
Like even Rix himself went on a Young Link grind against the 3 Young Links in Europe. Okay? To sort the match out. And he's like one of the best players in Europe. So it's understandable that they struggled. But, they do know the Falco, the Fox matchup, the Falcon matchup. It's a little bit more accessible. So I think you get into. Yeah,
so you're playing characters where even if you're struggling, you can always try to fall back to your game plan. Well, in the end, if you're facing Frenzy or something, then you're just gonna get rolled over and you're gonna shield grab. But it's not gonna it's not gonna be as bad as a Young Link where you're getting rolled over and you're like, I don't even know what to do.
Yeah, it did feel like that at times against Norway, where it was like the Portuguese crew didn't even know what was happening. So then it was just like it just kept happening over and it took a long time, but it was a slow death.
To be honest, I can kind of see the same happening to Portugal when Prof is going in against the Mavs. Like when I see him playing against Mackenzie, it's just, I don't know, it just feels like Mackenzie doesn't have a shot. Like especially when he's playing really good, even though he has won a few times, I think, but most of the times Mackenzie is just like not on the same level, it feels like, when he's going off.
I get that. I just think I think it just makes this more accessible. Like I can see Raiden doing, if Raiden was playing Fatino, which could happen, I could see that being something Raiden's more comfortable with and could potentially pick up a stock or two more than playing a disgusting Young Link. It's something that I can see being a little bit more likely.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Portuguese players, just briefly. We haven't even mentioned their name. So I'm really excited to see Raiden play again and Rorik specifically. I feel like those are the two most interesting one. And then there's Apollo as the third for me.
We've always mentioned, we know Raiden's good from the match against Austria, clearly very good, and if he continues to play, I can see a good trajectory for him. We know Rorix is good. Apollo, we've seen action from him that shows that he's a competent jigs. But what I was impressed with was actually Pudding last match against Norway. He actually went up pretty well against Boers initially, unless I'm mistaken. And because I didn't know very much about Pudding compared to the other Portuguese crew, I was actually impressed with his math. So, there's again, it's a little bit like the Greek team, which I think Portugal are ahead of them in their trajectory as a community and a scene. But there's potential here. It's just maybe a couple of steps too much against this English squad.
Yep.
All right, let's do some voting on this one, and then we're going to go into our final 3 matches. Hands up if you think that the underdogs can beat the English. Hands up for Portugal. And hands up if you think this is going to be a victory for England. Okay, Portugal, I hope to see you make this more challenging than we've potentially made out. I believe in you. As I have said throughout this, I'm a big Portuguese supporter. You did well against Austria. Let's ignore the last result and let's come out strong against this English side.
Yeah.
I think what we'll do is jump into our next 3 crew matches. We have a little bit of a partner to discuss, and then we will chat about our 3 matches that we're going to be able to watch on BTS Smash 1 this weekend. The partner, Kones Academy. Oh, yeah. So if you haven't heard of Kones Academy, it is the coaching service that I run. We've now got something like 20 odd coaches, 21 coaches from both North America and from Europe. Rix is here and is a coach of the academy. How many students you now got, Rix?
I got 16, I think. One is still like on my old Patreon, but he's switching over, I think. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, Void Mum, yeah. So 16, 17. So we've got, as I say, 21 coaches. Prices go from like 10 euros a month upwards. It's very cost effective. We also have a consumer level. So if you just want to come in and consume the content, it's 5 euros a month. You get to watch all matches, all coaching sessions live in Discord. They're all streamed. That's like 126 students. We've got 126 coaching sessions a month. We've got the lovely Alex and Julius are both students of the academy. Is it worth it, guys?
I haven't had my first lesson yet, so I don't know. It might be terrible, you know.
Julius, you're not selling it.
Just kidding.
Well,
This is your last time on here.
I had a set where I lost to King 3-1.
I'm just kidding.
I lost to King 3-1, and then I had a lesson with Amsa, and next day I beat him 3-2. Instant results.
There you go. Instant results. And again, consumers, 5 euros. You watch all the previous VODs. There's like 250 or something like that now. It is actually like, in all honesty, if I didn't run it, I would join it because I like the content is so good. And we also have the league system now. Like, join Kones Academy. You take part as a student in the league. You basically get put in a division. You play matches against everyone in your division over a month. And there's promotion, relegation, and consumers. I've added an extra tier so you can join as a league and a consumer as well. Ooh,
I'm not affiliated with Kones Academy. I've had a lot of people telling me that they really like the league.
Get in it.
Yeah.
5 euros.
Yeah.
Right, let's go to our next 3 matches. Okay. So I'll just point my finger at you, Jim. So, the crews, last 3 matches. We are now looking at BTS Smash 1, starting 5 p.m. GMT this Saturday, 6 p.m. CET, BTS Smash 1. Ooh, look at this match to kick it all off. Finland versus Sweden. Tier 1 versus Tier 3, although that is very debatable. We know that. We know
very
that.
High Tier 3.
Yeah, very high Tier 3, okay? This is going to be a nail-biter. Finland, that 5-0 loss in round 1 to England. They smothered Italy last round. Sweden, nail-biter, 2-0 victory over Ireland round 1. Rested round 2. This is close to call. Throw it over to you, panelists. What are our thoughts of this one?
So
I think,
I think the Swedish crew definitely has more depth than the Finnish crew for sure. They have way more options they can use. I think the biggest weakness of the Finnish crew is that it's very top heavy. Like you know for a fact who's gonna be the 4 or 5 players they send out of these. Because there is definitely a gap between Mayhem, Solo Battle, Levinji, Payu, and everyone else, basically. So you know there's going to be these 4. And I feel like that gives Sweden a slight edge because they have more options. You know, they have more people they can send and they can prepare better because they know who they're going to play against.
See, but the thing is, against Ireland, that's the same thing. Ireland, you know exactly who you're facing, like with 2 players. And what happened there? It was almost they washed it. They almost lost that.
But so I mean, who did they use? Who did Sweden use?
I'll put it up for you. I actually got the match here.
They used Pipsqueak, Humpy, Dady, Red, and Meaty. Yeah.
Okay, so they did. Yeah. Okay.
So those are like not bad players. Like those would be players you might as well send in now.
I think that's potentially their best 5 other than Johnny Fight. You know, and they had Johnny Fight available as well. He was in chat. I believe he was in chat. I think I saw him in chat. So they chose those 5. So, you know.
So even though the Finnish crew is predictable, they are very strong. Like these 4 players are really, really, really strong, all of them. And they can all pull out a really big performance, with Solo Battle and the Vinci in particular being the ones who can, you know, just take like 8 stocks, you know, on a good day.
Yeah, it's very crucial, I think, for the Swedish team to get Pipsqueak against Solo Battle, for example.
Yeah,
I guess one of their favorite matchups.
I think Sweden could also set its Johnny Fight versus Solo Battle, and didn't they play like really, really close the last time?
Ooh, interesting.
Like I think he even won at least one set. Maybe
Okay.
I'm not sure about that. It was like a month ago or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how experienced Solo Battle is against ICs, actually.
This is going to come down to like who you get in against who. So let's kind of like look at it from a Finland point of view and then a Sweden point of view. What are Finland looking to do here? Because they're like the skill level is so close here. It's the tactics of who you send in first, and then what you're looking for favorable wise is going to matter a lot here. So yeah, what are Finland looking to do?
I think Finland, you either send in Paju first, because I think he does okay versus everyone, or you send in the Vingi just because the Vingi's play style means he sort of like can slow things down a lot in crews and he won't just get overwhelmed by anyone that they put in, unless they put in Pipsqueak, who I think would beat handily. And I think for Sweden, I don't think there's any downside to putting Pipsqueak in first. Even if you get Solo Battle, the best player on the crew, I think that's a slight Solo Battle favor, but maybe depending on the stage, it could be 50-50. Like,
I think
it's very difficult to call how this opens.
Yeah, I think that's a good call to start with Pipsqueak as Sweden, because like whoever they send in, Pipsqueak will probably beat them and get the counter pick advantage. If they send in a top player, and if they send in one of the worst players, Pipsqueak is probably going to 2-stock, maybe 3-stock them, and that's already such a big lead. And the rest of the players are good enough to clean it up. For Finland, I would actually maybe think about sending in Mayhem first, who is also just a pretty good fox who doesn't have any bad matchups there. I think he would do well against Popmeister. I think he would do well against Johnny Fight. Dadu might be a bit scary. Pipsqueak would not be too good.
When they send Mayhem in, if they say Mayhem first, do they also have to say his character?
Yeah,
we lock in the character.
Okay.
I just lock 15 in the 15 minutes beforehand. So yeah, it has to be Fox or Falco.
Okay. I was just thinking if he could pick once he sees who he's playing against.
No.
Someone like Dady is obviously
But
Fox.
this is why it might be good to play him first, in a sense, because then he wouldn't have to regret having picked one character or the other.
Yeah, I guess.
So who are the other players for the Finnish team? I think last time it
was Tinker played against England and he did decently versus it was him Kingu first and he did I think 3 stocks or
he did,
which is good.
Take the gap from the top, like from the 3rd, 4th of Finland down to Tinker Salivate is not that big. Like it's not like a massive gap. They're still both good players.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just when you compare that maybe to like the 4th or 5th player on the Swedish side who's going to compete, there is a bit of a difference there. For Paju is that he's been having training with Nikki and he's been doing 2 sessions a month. And he's in Division 1 of Kones Academy League, which has Paju, Maye, R23 Max, Vivi, Nintendo, King, and Raul. And he won this season in that division.
Really?
Yeah, his only 2 losses were against Max and R23 against Sheik players.
I feel like Paju is a player who often, takes a long break, from the game, and then nobody talks about him anymore. And then when he comes back, everyone always underestimates him. Everyone is always like, Paju, he played a few years ago. You don't need to see them too high, and then he gets super far in tournament, and he beats this and this and this. Like you can never really count him out. I feel as a player.
No, and I just think like he beat Raoul 3-2. He beat I'll just get the score for you against Maye. Give me a second.
I think it was 3-0.
3-2 Maye. 3-2 Maye. 3-2 against Raoul. Beat Nintendo 3-2. So it's like, they are very competitive matches, and that's pretty impressive beating that spread. So, and he's clearly, like you're saying, Julius, like he's back and he's taking it seriously. And I know that he was probably not too happy with his performance against England. So we might be seeing Payu coming out quite strong in this round.
For sure. That's interesting. Good stats. I didn't know that Payu was doing so well.
It's actually like
you're in the Discord, you'd know.
But then again, Cruz is a very different beast from singles, so it does take a different type of skill.
I think we might see like maybe someone like Absent as well. I think Falcon could do good versus the Peach and versus maybe versus Solo Battle. I don't know. I quite like that matchup for Falcon, but I don't know about maybe a skill gap there. But Sweden's got such a deep roster that I think we need to like consider all the players really.
Yeah.
I kind of don't think that they need a Marth. Like Sweden doesn't need like really a Marth against the Finland team. If I look at it, like Levinji does pretty decent against Marth in general, and Mayhem is also like a pretty defensive player. And I think like not picking the Marths is maybe the better pick. Like in a sense, because Solo Battle is probably just gonna destroy the Marths. I'm pretty sure about that.
I was gonna ask, like, do you think they would just send in Solo Battle if they start sending in Marths? Like,
pretty sure.
It's probably the case.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way. None of these Marths are gonna. If it's Solo Battle's counter pick, there's no way that Marth blows up. Solo Battle is there. Like, there's no.
It's unlikely. Yeah.
Probably not. No. So, how do you feel about the daily start? I think that would be a bad idea.
A bad idea?
Yeah, I
think
don't
that
like
would be a bad
versus
idea.
Vingy or versus obviously Solo Battle with
It's a risky pick. Yeah.
It's very risky. I thought about the JD thing initially, and then I thought, oh, wait a minute. They've put Solo Battle in once first already, like Finland. I don't know. It's just risky because you get Solo Battle there, and I think you've just lost a nice counter pick in Dady.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
even if it was Levingy or even Payu, because Peach Samus, not great.
Yeah.
Levingy's or even Mayhem's style versus Samus is probably. You saying he's quite defensive is probably good enough.
Yeah, very campy.
Yeah, yes.
How would you?
Is the word we use, defensive, not campy.
Oh,
no, but I say it as a compliment. Like, he's really
Would
good
you
at
guys
it.
rate this as a 50-50?
Yeah.
I still haven't made my mind up, Jim, yet on who way I'm going.
Shall we do some predictions?
Neither have I.
You're stalling, Ed, because you don't want to make a decision.
Maybe. All right, let's do some voting. Who is going to go? I'm going to
Wait. I still have to think.
Me too.
All right, you got 5 seconds.
Okay, yeah, I know.
3, 2, 1. Who's going Sweden? Hands up. Who's going Finland? I'm going Finland. I think Finland. I think they've got this. I'm going Finland. All right. Crew match number 5. Going on.
R23, you had Finland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Alex on Finland. So, crew match number 5 going second on BTS Smash number 1 this Saturday. This will be at 7 p.m. CET, 6 p.m. GMT. It's also on at the same time as Denmark versus Norway on BTS Smash 2. So kind of you've got a choice here between these two matches, because really I think first match we're probably going to be watching Sweden versus Finland, and then coming into this or Denmark-Norway on BTS Smash 2. We've got Switzerland, who had a close performance against France in round 1. I believe Switzerland didn't play last round.
That's correct.
Yeah, they didn't. Netherlands crushed Scotland round 1 and then lost France last round, although it was Amselis and
Doesn't matter.
It was a loss. So going into this, I think Switzerland were probably quite buoyed about their performance against France. Netherlands need to pick themselves up a little bit, get their campaign back on track. Just to point out, we have a substitution on the Netherlands squad. Nebby has made his appearance with the Mewtwo and has replaced Jim himself, who has dropped out of the crew but is still crew captain. Panelists, Switzerland, Netherlands, what are our thoughts?
I think looking at the Switzerland roster, they have a good team, but I think it's Amster's back this time, right? I assume.
We don't know.
Renzo, I assume, is still injured.
No, Renzo's out.
Yes.
Renzo's
out like 3 months, I think.
So-
Amster moved house, got married, has had like family things going on. So I think Amster's always going to be a bit like this in the near future for any of these matches.
Assuming Amster plays, I think this is a pretty clean for Netherlands, because I think, and even without him, I think it would still be really close. Netherlands has I think they've got a good combination of characters here for dealing with Switzerland.
So what would the Netherlands do against Jaridon, you think?
Yappy.
Yeah,
I think it's safely Yappy. That would be basically the safe choice. There's not really too much that can go wrong there, in my opinion.
So we're not going to see the Yappy start, which I believe we've seen thus far.
Yappy has not started against France.
Oh, he didn't? I thought he had. Oh, no, he went in last against Tech, didn't he? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, Yappy usually starts if we have Amsa, because then we have like one big player at the end and one big player at the start, which is very tactical and very simple. So I would analyze this usually as like if Amsa is not here, because if Amsa is here, my personal read is this will not be quite as close. Like it's going to be maybe a 6-stock, maybe a 4-stock. And if Amsa is not here, you also have to imagine it puts more mental pressure on the other players. It's so funny how that actually works, like in our crew. Like they feel like, oh fuck man, now we cannot rely on Daddy Amsa. So.
Yeah, it's not just the effect of him not being, because like him being there and him being the last player kind of takes a lot of mental pressure off them whilst they're playing, because it's like, oh, even if I fuck this up, I've got one of the top 10 players in Europe to clean up for me. And that kind of got that pressure taken off of you.
Yeah.
They're probably also gonna.
It makes you play better generally.
They probably also want to send in Jaridon against Amsa in case he is there. So they're gonna wait with Jaridon until the end, pretty sure. So this can definitely be like a big changer.
Yeah. I think we should talk about who Switzerland is probably going to send in. So we know Jaridon for sure.
I'm pretty sure that they are gonna send in the Marvs. Like Black Haze and made in Shine A.
Ooh, interesting.
They had like pretty decent results. I think Black Haze has also beaten some PR players, like pretty good players. I'm not really sure who it was again, but definitely we shouldn't definitely not underrate them. Then probably Elaine.
Yeah,
and
I think Nero is the second best player in that Switch.
Yeah, Nero is really good.
It's Nero, Elaine, and Jaridon. I'm thinking those are for sure. I know Ravio is pretty good, so I think they're going to send him in as well. And then they're going to keep the fifth player. That could be one of the Marth. Last time they actually sent in Kone. Baked Goods is also pretty good. So they have like a little bit of a choice for the fifth player.
I think the problem with the Spaceys though is that I think players like, I think Nebby, I'm not sure, Nebby, I assume his Mewtwo is very good.
It's insane.
So, and I think people like Nebby and Skullbro create real problems for those Foxes, who are, especially where they're not the most experienced players. I think on a counter pick, someone like Nebby could just tear them up.
You want to know how Nebby actually got on the crew? We did a cruise match. Like the winner gets to stay on the crew or go on the crew. Nebby beat me 3-1, so now he's on the crew. So there you go.
Why, Jim, out of interest, why was it you selected from the crew? Because there's other characters.
I selected myself. Like if I'm gonna put in, I'm not gonna ask someone else. Like you're gonna give up your spot because I asked them beforehand.
Okay.
So I don't want to put anyone else. Like you give your spot for Nebby, so I do it myself. Because we already have Stein who fills the gap and Happy Meals as well.
Yeah, I know. That's why I just felt like I get that. I just kind of looked more at Sir, maybe. You know, so very kind of you.
I know people want to
Who does Netherlands start with then? If they don't end up having AMSA and they don't want to start with Yappy, who starts for the Netherlands?
I feel like Fout would be good against everyone except for Yarraiden.
I was on there as well.
Luigi Peach, with the bit of the skill gap that there is as well, I think Yarraiden would do really well there.
So I that was my read on it as well, Alex, was that they would probably go Fout. So if we kind of read that, the Swiss team have probably read that. So who is Switzerland going to lead with? If they're going for it's probably going to be Fout without AMSA, without Yappy being able to go first. Who does Switzerland go first with then?
I don't think there's any reason not to put Yar first.
Yeah, but then we were talking about having to keep Yar, weren't we? There would be no AMSA.
We know AMSA is not playing if England.
I think even if it's AMSA is the last, I don't think Yar is not the solution to AMSA being last. The solution is getting a lead. You need a lead before you get to AMSA. You can't be like, oh, well, it's now Yar's 2 stocks versus AMSA's 4 stocks on Sheik's counterpick. It's just... Not that it's not going to happen, but that is a matchup which is tricky for Luigi anyway. And if the Sheik's job is to very slowly take 2, not to win, to like take 2 stocks with 4, like I think.
Yeah, exactly. But if it was equal, Jaws has taken sets. Recently-ish. So yeah, definitely. So like it's, I could easily see the Swiss team saying like, if AMSA is in and playing, trying to get a Jar, like basically trying to grind it out just to aim for victory of a Jar versus AMSA for a finish. Because like, I don't know, like the flip side of that of just trying to get ahead and hoping the rest of the team can mop up AMSA, I can't see it in Switzerland. I can't see anyone but Jar being able to go toe to toe. Like they would have to have a bloody good. I
was thinking they need to have.
They need 2 players. They need 2 players to take out AMSA.
They would need like 6 stocks, I think, across 2 decent players, like good, not just decent, like good.
Yeah, but then I could see AMSA just like going to town against Elaine and Nero though as well. Yeah, I
guess it's equally risky, right? Like, or if not more.
So I'm always like in my head, I'm assuming AMSA isn't playing, right? If AMSA isn't playing, Juraiden start would probably be the scariest for us. Because, well, I think Foutena would do fine. I was actually thinking about starting with Stein or Fox, which is always quite safe in that sense.
Yeah. You got
always got a good matchup. But I think, like, my friend Stein, I love him to death, but I think he would get fucked up by Juraiden, especially like when it starts as the first match and you have nothing to go on. That's very scary. We might go crazy and start with the Mewtwo. Who knows? Dr. Mario might as well come out. I think a weird character might not be.
I just think you're throwing stuff out there, Jim, just to mess with them.
No, I think starting with a weird character is not a bad choice.
Just said we might start with Fout, we might start with Stein, maybe we'll go Nebby, or maybe we'll go with.
All right, I'm gonna rule out. We are not starting with Yappy. I'm gonna guarantee it.
All right.
Oh shit.
Let's vote. Let's vote on this one. Vote.
Okay.
Hands up if you're gonna go with Switzerland. I think this is just a bridge too far. Hands up if you're going to go for Netherlands.
Assuming AMSA's there, I think it's a...
I expected more Switzerland. Like, it's 3 points. If AMSA doesn't show up, you can actually get the upset.
Yeah, but I still think it's difficult either way. And I think it's competitive, even if AMSA is there. But I still think this is comfortably leaning towards the Dutch side.
Yep.
Okay, let's go into our final crew preview. This is the last match on BTS Smash 1 this Saturday. Is the Spain crew against the German crew. This will be on at 8 p.m. CET, 7 p.m. GMT. Spain, I think both teams have actually had a break. Spain played Belgium round 1 and took victory there against basically Belgium B. And Spain were missing Triff. Germany romped home against Wales round 1 quite comfortably and also had a break round 2. I am hoping we have a Triff here because I believe his schooling, his university is finished. So let's throw this open, panelists.
So obviously Triff is like the biggest roadblock for us. I think other than Triff, like just looking at our best 5 players, this is not gonna be too much of a problem. So it's probably gonna be like either two of us, like Nikki, Kinzo, and me versus Trif. So we're gonna take him out, and then we gotta see how we're gonna go with the other people. But I'm pretty sure they're gonna send him first, just to kind of like get the momentum. And that's why we are probably also going to start with one of our best players. We could also start with 6. Like, I'm really not sure how he will do against Trif, but he will definitely take some stocks. 100%, at least 2 or 3 stocks against him.
That's actually big. Like, if you can get that, would not be bad.
Yeah, because then you would have all your spaces left for.
So what you said, like your Spain besides Trif, looking at your top 5, I would say your top 10. Like, I think all your players are better than the second best Spanish player. Well, K12 maybe better than Vivio, for example. Like, that might just be debatable, but it's even debatable, right?
That might be the case. It might be the case that all the German players are better than the second best Spanish player, but I think the other Spanish players are good enough to play damage control, to kind of just trade stocks, because let's say Trif goes in first and gets a huge lead just because he plays on fire, and he kills 2 German players, then it's kind of rough, because I don't think the rest of the Spanish team will be a breeze. I don't think it will be that easy to take down.
I'm not being funny, but I could YouTube from recent events the likes of Trif versus Nikki and Trif versus our very own Rix and so forth, where he has just messed them up for one match, like literally full stop. It has happened, okay, and it's been rough to watch, okay. And yes, I know across an entire competitive set, it's been closer than that, but there has been that rough one round. So, you see that happen where, like, it is Trif Nikki, Trif Kinzo, Trif Rix, and it goes badly for one of the spaces. And Trif only loses a stock, and then suddenly you've got 3 stock Trif versus one of those again, and then he does particularly well again. It blows this entire crew match open. Like, suddenly, like Julius is right, it's damage control. You got Lyax, K12, Mara is very good.
They're gonna trade stocks.
Malmortis as well. So it all goes on. Can Trif basically go toe to toe with 2 of their best? And I'm not necessarily going to happen, but it is a potential. And then it's up to the rest of the Spain team just to go toe to toe with the rest. Which is, once you get rid of 2 of Nikki, Kinzo, and Rix, the rest is potentially there. Because there is
the rest.
Don't forget 6.
This is why I think 6 going first, in case Trif goes first, is potentially better. Because I don't think 6 will get blown up by Trif. I think 6 will take a couple of stocks either way, which I think is a better situation than one of the spaces going in and things not going quite right.
But even if Trif is blown out, then you finally have Trif blowing out 2 players. But then I still think the 3 German players will be better than the 4 Spanish. Like, for example, you have 6 and Caron, right? Caron has been moving borders as well. He's been doing really well. Case is still a great player, so I think any of those could come in. Kabobi could blow people up with his Falcon.
Kabobi's not playing. As much as I love him, he's not playing here, right? Like,
unless you
never know.
Sorry, the matchup. Right.
If everyone's available, you got Nikki, Kinzo, Rix, okay, definitely, and then after that, it's 6Ks or Charon. That's who you're looking at playing availability wise. That's how I see it anyway. Caron. Like how good are Caron and Case against like a DK, like the second best DK in Europe?
I think like Caron is pretty sure gonna win it against K12, and Case is just having like the better matchup. Pretty sure he's gonna win too. So,
but remember, our scenario here is damage control. If Trif takes a lead, them keeping it close enough across the rest of the match. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm thinking here.
They can't just trade stocks with K12. They'd need to beat him badly.
That's true.
If Trif gets like 6 stocks, let's say, off the best players, and K12 gets 4 stocks, then it's
we are playing out the scenario if Trif does particularly well. Because if Trif doesn't, this is Germany's. Like Trif, if we go Nikki, like let's say Triff goes first and you throw Nikki in, and Nikki either wins or takes 3 stocks. To me, it's match over.
I think this crew battle is very similar to the Denmark-Norway one. Like one team has the depth advantage, but the other has a potential explosiveness to it that can maybe, get a big lead and then just trade.
Okay, I think we've discussed this one enough. I will now blow everything up by saying what Lykes told me in the chat. We won't have Triff, Oxart, Malmortis, or Chobin playing.
Oh,
What? Are you kidding me?
So,
oh my god.
Well, we may as well just throw this out the window then.
Let's go voting.
What a waste of our time analysis.
Triff's not playing. That's
I was looking forward to this.
I actually read that like 5 minutes ago, and I thought, let's at least
schedule finalized. I feel like we should move a different game onto BTS 1 at this point. That's
I've actually I agree. Like Denmark, Norway is potentially more competitive. If Spain are basically playing like half their A team, like what? Come on, like. Clearly, one of the few matches in the entire circuit that they should be aiming to play properly. This is one of them. Like Spain, Germany, Spain, France. Like I am very highly perturbed. Spain,
as we just discussed, I think they have a legit chance. Like if they have all their players, like a good Triff performance can
could be an amazing
it. Like because Triff is Triff. Like
it's a shame.
Yeah,
we will discuss it internally in the back room whether we will.
Germany.
Yeah, so I already put in the vote.
Yeah, it's all
Germany. Which is a shame. I hope. Okay, I love Triff a bit, but I hope there's a proper reason for not playing because it's ultimately an hour. He doesn't play doubles. It's an hour of his time on a Saturday night, and I know everyone's busy and got stuff going on, so fair enough. But I really hope there's some reason because. I think being there for his team would be highly appreciated. Just a shame. Yeah. Hey ho. Right. Let's move on then. We'll do a little bit of a dubs preview. This is taking place this Saturday. Again, I think it's going to be a lot of it will be streamed across BTS Smash 1 and BTS Smash 2. Dubs was super excited. If you did not see any of it at the upset, it was awesome. Like the amount of like competitiveness between the later element of the bracket. And to be honest, as someone who I'm a little bit less excited by singles in Europe. I think there's a kind of a set expectation of who's going to make the end of the bracket. And I don't know, the storylines or narratives aren't as exciting to me. The rest of my panelists might disagree, but I think first round of doubles at the upset opened up a lot of interesting potential storylines across the circuit. And remember that this is a circuit event. Doubles is now at every single event going forward. Top 8 teams on the leaderboard. So that's the samecircuit.eu website. I have said that right, correct, Jim?
Sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
I said it. I was like, wait a minute.
Samecircuit.eu. Yeah,
samecircuit.eu. You can see singles, doubles, and crews rankings there. There's a point system for doubles. Top 8 teams qualified to the finale in December. And we have basically the majority of our doubles teams taking part this weekend that did particularly well last time. Panelists, let's throw out some double team names for our viewers to look out for.
Yeah, so I want to preface this with saying we don't have a bracket, of course. So there's no real analysis on who's going to win. But I just wanted to make sure we highlight some of the interesting teams. I think the first and most obvious interesting team showing up is Ice and Six.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're really good. I think that team's good anyway. I think Link complements Fox in for some reason, those two characters are like Fox obviously is a great teammate of any character, but those two teammates, like I know I think they've lived together before, or they're in the same scene. And Link is such a good. Fox covers Link's weak points so well, like all of his slow moves and whatever, and all of Link's moves set up for Fox's kill moves really well. I think that team's really good anyway. I love watching that team.
So.
I did notice that Ice was streaming doubles the last couple of days. I did not check in to see if it was Six and him playing. I hope it was, because when we interviewed them last week, they hadn't yet done any training. Rix, you were trying to say something?
Yeah, so we played, like, actually Phil and me played 6 and Ice just a few days before.
Yep.
Like, I was not playing with Kenzo because he didn't have time, like, at least not right now. And they didn't even play their mains. They played Falcon and Puff, and they were fucking amazing, even though we were playing mains. Like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna win it. I'm gonna be honest.
Over Pipsqueak and Nikki?
Yes, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
oh, cute.
Like,
and over you and Rickens, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna go.
I'm gonna be honest, like,
you guys.
I'm really happy to actually see that they were training, because last week we interviewed them and they said we haven't trained, but I've also seen them in the Dutch Discord, actually people asking for Ice and Six playing. So I know they've been on the grind, so I'm excited to see them. I don't want to spend too long on each team. Another team that's really interesting is Frenzy and Mint.
Yeah, because they slept in last time.
Yep.
Is that what it was?
I don't know. I'm just presuming that's what it was. But they
Frenzy overslept.
Frenzy and Mint, Valhalla 3 champs, by the way.
Yeah, exactly that, Julius. So they are the 2 teams that are kind of didn't compete at the last event that I think will mix stuff up. And then they kind of join the likes of Pip and Nikki. We've got R23 and VA who finished 3rd. Knuckles and Amsa finished 4th. Got a delightful Rix and Kinzo, who's already wrote himself off from winning. Rix, come on. I finished 2nd last time. The likes of Timmy and Kellner had a particularly good run. We've got Blaze and PHL returning. Phil, I don't know how we actually say, I just always say Phil anyway, who did particularly well last time. Do we have any of the returning teams that did well in the first?
I'd like to mention some teams that aren't, I think that people might not be aware of. I think Humpe and Q is a fox from Sweden who's been around a long time. I think that's a team that people should underestimate at their peril. I think they could go quite far. Mai and Charlon, I think they didn't get the best bracket last time, but they're definitely a really good team and could do well.
Q doesn't play too much melee, but when he does, it's to play doubles and kick ass.
Yeah.
Like he's a double specialist for sure. Like he's way better at doubles than singles.
Yeah. Payu and Mayhem did well last time as well and are a good team.
I'm interested to see how Noxa and Pixel do this time, because they did really well last time with sort of coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, see if it's actually one-hit wonder or maybe they are up there.
Yeah.
And also Yappy and Nebby. So Yappy's abandoned skills even though they got 5th last time.
It was so good.
If I do not... do we know who Nebby plays in teams? Have you played against him, Jim?
Yes, he plays what you think he will play, and which is Mewtwo. I don't know if you've ever seen a Mewtwo in teams.
I thought he'd play Mewtwo.
Mewtwo in teams sounds like a tragedy.
I don't feel like that character offers much in teams, but Nebby...
He's an amazing player. That's
he's
just
proven people
the only
wrong
thing we
before,
can say.
so I'd like if he can make Mewtwo work. If anyone can make Mewtwo work in teams, it will be a Dutch Mewtwo.
Like at least Yoshi, you can play him as like a sort of defensive wall in teams, and he's annoying. But like Mewtwo,
you just play him as the kill character. You let Yappy's Falcon, who is one of the most aggressive Falcons in the world, goes in at the front, and then the Mewtwo picks up the kills. I guess somehow
it's just so easy for Mewtwo to die randomly to bullshit like in teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Am I right in thinking that they used to team previously?
Yep.
Is that right, Jim? Yeah. So
Yoshi Falcon.
Yeah.
So they're good friends, good teammates. So they should
I thought that was the case, which is why I kind of initially thought it would be the Yoshi Falcon that we've seen previously. But let's see how Falcon Mewtwo goes. We've also got
right off. So obviously you got Timmy Kellner in here as well.
Yeah.
Where do you see the list?
We opened it on Smash GG.
Have fun finding it on Smash GG. Go hunting.
And I'm also interested to see how Raptori and Solo Battle do, because Solo Battle I don't think I've ever seen in teams, and Raptori I know is a pretty good fox from Finland. So
yeah. Silo and Kid Candy is a team that most people would just not know are particularly good, and they had a very good run last event. So don't sleep on that French team. And I've just noticed Whittle and Chris, which I do not believe entered last event, but both are good players. So that might be
There's just so many possibilities. I just want to see.
I love doubles. I love doubles. It's so
and
good.
Mr. King Funk and Mo.
Ooh,
that's an interesting team for that.
First time we're teaming in a major, so that should be fun. We've been practicing. We've been playing from time to time to try and make it work. And honestly, it's probably the best synergy I've ever had with anyone, like from the get-go. Mo doesn't play Donkey Kong. Well, he might play Donkey Kong actually, but he plays Fox, and Mo is very technical, presses a lot of buttons, and I feel like that fits perfectly with me. So
cool.
I think we might have a run. You know, we might do a run.
I think the last team to point out is Randomness and Johnny Fights again competing, which is great to see because they're an awesome doubles team and both haven't been super active, but nice to see that they're entering their second event in a row.
I just realized I didn't sign up for doubles.
Yeah, I just saw that Mackenzie signed up for doubles, but has an incomplete team as well. So
I might send Mackenzie a message.
Yeah, I don't know who he was meant to be signing up with, but it's an unusual one. And then sadly, it doesn't look like Tech signed up. So we interviewed him last week, and it sounded like him and Pork were entering. But Pork has entered doubles, but there's no Tech on the attendee sheet, which is very sad, as they also did particularly well in the last event. Okay, then let's just have a quick mention. Again, we don't have any brackets, so we can't really do any sort of deeper analysis that we've done for crews. Let's just mention singles. Who do we have taking part this weekend? We know that Leffen's not taking part. He is stepping out of this one. He doesn't like the schedule of the Sunday, which is something that as same TOs we have discussed. And to be honest, we are still debating amongst ourselves about way forward. If you are listening, I know that Region, which is our 4th event in the circuit, 3rd weekend of April, they are in towards a schedule, which I've seen of splitting Saturday, Sunday up. So it would be pools for singles, and I believe doubles as well on the Saturday, or all of doubles Saturday. Jim, can you remember how that finished?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We weren't sure split, but there were some good ideas. So I think it looks fine. So
it was definitely singles, pool Saturday, and bracket Sunday, and I think doubles was still being debated about in the last team meeting. By the way, those who are watching, we are literally having weekly meetings that last like 2.5 hours every week since November. They are super fun. No. Okay. They are time consuming. So don't think that we're not listening to feedback on Twitter and Discord. We are listening. There's just a lot going on behind the scenes. Okay. So singles, other than us not seeing a Leffen, who are we seeing panelists at this weekend's Phoenix Blue on Sunday?
Triff is there, obviously. I think he's probably the favourite to take it this time. But also this time, Ice is entering, who I presume is not playing Kirby. I
hope not. He loves to stream his Kirby, though.
If we see his Kirby, there's every chance it could get top 8, I guess. But
I don't know if Triff is favored to win it.
No.
Who do you think it is?
I would maybe put Ice still.
Really? No. No, get away. Triff.
Yeah, I will do it. I'll do it. I will put Ice or perhaps Pipsqueak.
Triff.
Pipsqueak.
Pipsqueak. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Triff, Pipsqueak more than Ice. That's
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, guys. All right.
I feel like if Pipsqueak is gonna win, he's either gonna win a close game 5 against Triff, or he's just gonna get blown out. There's no in between. I feel.
Depending on the bracket as well, I think obviously the UK guys, Frenzy and Prof, could do very well, but it is...
Well, Alex, if Prof actually enters...
Yeah, if Prof enters singles, I think him and Triff have been going pretty back and forth in their most recent sets, but Prof does have a bit of a demon in the form of Ice. I can't remember the last time he beat Ice, if he's beat Ice.
But when's the last time they played?
Yeah, good point, but also, just traditionally, I think that would be a tough one for Prof.
Yeah.
It's interesting just obviously looking at who else is competing and likely to make a deep run and, make the latter bracket competitive. Mackenzie's back. He wasn't in the last event, the upset, even though he was a major part of the upset's trailer. He did not take part.
I signed up for the upset because I knew
there was stuff going on. I just had to make a joke. All right. So, but yeah, Mackenzie's back this time. We've also got, I've just noticed, Johnny Fight is taking part in singles.
Ooh.
Which, spices things up. And we've got Nebby in singles, the Mewtwo. See how that goes. So there's straight away.
He's gonna do.
He'll go far, but I don't think he's.
But that's why.
No, he's not gonna make top 8. Come on.
Yeah, that latter end of the bracket, like Rix, how comfortable are you running into Nebby's Mewtwo?
I just played against him I think it was last week on Tuesday at the Netherlands Weekly, and I 3-0'd him. So I think I'm pretty confident.
Just like, yeah, I've got that.
I wouldn't worry about you, but like just to illustrate, a while back he 3-0'd Foutenel's Peach actually, which was very impressive. I think he does well also against Kingu. Like he lost really close against Kingu. So like around that level, you can expect the Mewtwo to be.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he got top 16. Like
not at all.
Yeah, can definitely see that.
My point is the latter bracket looks more interesting than the upset. Like, take Leffen out, and actually, like in a way, it's more fun without him. That's just my viewpoint. But we've got not personal. I think it just makes it a little bit more interesting. Top 8. But we've got Triff saying Prof if he doesn't drop out again. But we've got Triff, Prof, Ice is in, Amsa's in, and Amsa wasn't competing last time. Nikki's in, Frenzy's in, Nebby's returning, Mint's taking part, Johnny Fight's competing. You've then got Lavingi, McKenzie, Timmy in there, Pipsqueak, Maye, Yappy, Jaw Rider. It just, to me, is a more competitive.
Yeah, Jaw Rider as well. Jaw Rider's got top 8
for sure.
I think he could definitely be a person who could maybe push a bit further in as well. Yeah. Get top 6, top 4.
Dede as well didn't compete at the last event and is competing at this one. So I think it's going to be more interesting top 16 wise.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I'm just looking through the list, and I feel like it's a bit more top heavy than. I know it's a little bit less entrance, but I feel it's more top heavy than the previous 2 iterations. So I'm really excited actually for the latter bracket.
Oh, Solar Battle didn't enter singles.
What?
Yeah, doubles.
Triff. No, actually, Triff beats Solar Battle now, so it doesn't matter.
With Fox, yeah.
Yeah, some other interesting names that could maybe go far out of like Kai W hasn't competed in a while. Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe he entered Valhalla.
He did. He is. He's starting to get back to like a higher form than he was when he first returned. Kinso, I didn't mention, by the way. Kinso clearly top end as well. It's just so bad, right? Rix and Kinso never appear high up on the list because everything's out of date by 2 years. So like. Smash UG just doesn't think they're good players, so like you have to go like they're on like page 3. Like
it's so funny. They're like below the like way down players.
Like come on, like Kinzo's below Jim.
Well, okay. To be fair. No,
he's not going there.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see singles.
Yeah, I am. I'm like we have our numbers are slightly down, but. Overall, Cruise, I think, is the best round of Cruise across the entire circuit. Like, genuinely, I went through every single major looking at it, and I was a little bit gutted that Air didn't get this. Like, this is overall the most fun and the most competitive. And then singles, as I say, with it's more top-heavy than it has been. And then doubles was so interesting last round, and then add in the likes of Six and Ice. Yeah, I think this is... probably the most interesting one to watch thus far. So those who are watching, make sure you tune in BTS Smash 1, BTS Smash 2 this Saturday and Sunday for the 3rd event, Phoenix Blue Online. Lads, anything else to say before we finish for the night?
Sign up for Kones Academy. Come on, guys.
Yeah, there's always that.
I'm tired of seeing these adverts about it. If you just all signed up today...
we would stop the adverts.
Yeah, but it'd be done. Really, it would be over.
Teros has done a brilliant job with Phoenix Blue Online. And of course, he has his Seeding Paradise weekly on a Thursday. Please get yourself signed up to that. The money that you sign up for goes towards paying for the likes of the stream, commentators, and so forth. And then, obviously, our other partners, make sure you are actually, subscribed following BTS Smash 1 and 2 so that you are pinged when we go live this Saturday and Sunday. And then Pylon Software have beautifully made our smashcircuit.eu website where you can follow the circuit rankings. Please make sure you're checking that out. And if you go to Pylon Software, just stick it in Google. you can go onto their website and look at the beautiful jerseys that they have that you could buy and rock yourself. Other than that, let's finish for the night. Jim, you going to do anything else?
Yeah, finally, follow this channel. We are live each Wednesday, 9 o'clock. We will be here each Wednesday. So follow the channel, you get the ping.
Yeah,
we can't
8 p.m.
even stop.
CMT, 9 p.m. CET. Every Wednesday, there is a Konversations, and we are reviewing, previewing, talking about the same circuit. Follow it so you're pinged. Alex, you going to say something?
Was I?
No, you wasn't.
All right.
I just threw him under the bus. Last one from me. Follow @Smash Europe. Like, that's the main Twitter account for the same circuit. All the information, is tweeted from there. And that's it. So finish off. Thank you very much, Jim, for your time.
No problem. See you next week.
Thank you very much, Rix, as well.
See ya.
Thank you, R23.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll be on again.
Thank you, King Funk, for being our newest panelist.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Night audience and night guys, thank you very much for your time. And lastly, a big one, last one from me. Please ensure you are following Phoenix Smash on Twitter and also on Twitch, as Shays, who is the streamer for that channel, is streaming doing all the production for ourselves for Konversations, and also is running BTS Smash 2 for the majority of our circuit events, and is also doing BTS Smash for some of the Smash for some of our events, such as Shaylock, I believe, maybe Fate. I think they're doing Fate, and Super Boo as well. So yeah, Shay is awesome. Please follow his Twitter, Phoenix Smash, Twitter and Twitch. All right then, night everyone, night guys. It's been a lovely show.
Ciao.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Pip is an edge gone away. Oh, and I think this is actually it. No way! Pip Squeak takes it. Wow. Solid stuff from Pip Squeak. You know, the guy has been putting in the work. He definitely deserves it.
Goes high and Dady with another force magic. Professor Pro goes out to Dady. 3-2.
My God! With the flag, all the crew is here on stage because finally, Dady made that upset.
I'd like to return to the classics.
Kones Academy is partnered with the same circuit, and for every circuit event, we'll be offering one-to-one coaching services as prizes.
You may be the next Pipsqueak. You may be the next Pipsqueak.
Imagine.